gentleman from Nebraska is now recognized.
I reserve.
The gentleman reserves. The gentleman from Michigan is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Before I yield to the gentleman from New Jersey, I would ask unanimous consent to include in the record a statement of Chairman Neal that I have here.
Without objection.
Thank you. And to my friend from Arizona, I appreciate his passion. I wish it were true that he had somehow cured diabetes. It would be great news for my daughter and so many other Americans who say that they're looking for that cure in the meantime while we are working to get there. And I appreciate the effort. I do, because I'm on board. I'm completely on board with the notion that we ought to cure this terrible disease. However, until that day comes, let's make sure that the people who depend on insulin in order to stay alive can live to see that day that I know he and I both are looking forward to. With that, I yield 1 minute to the gentleman from New Jersey, my colleague from the Ways and Means Committee, Mr. Pascrell.
The gentleman from New Jersey is recognized for 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, thank you. Danny, thank you. Madam Speaker, the Affordable Insulin Now Act will cap out-of-pocket insulin costs at $35 per month. Not a miracle by any stretch of the imagination. And anyone who supports legislation in this order and others where we address other diseases, obviously, we're working on new situations just about every month. So because you're working on it and you're trying to find a balance of the free market and where the price goes without fixing the price of what something will cost. I mean, we've been called worse things than socialists. When you come to this debate, well, let's settle on that word. Well, what does that mean? You want to get into a debate about socialism? I served in the armed forces. I fought for my country. I'm tired of being called names. 7 million Americans use insulin to stay alive. The average insulin cost rose 54%. You've heard that before. And
Yield to the gentleman an additional 30 seconds.
Thank you. When insulin was discovered, Warren Harding was the president, and the New York Giants won the World Series, yet there was no television to watch the New York Giants. Insulin costs are national disgrace. For a drug discovered over 100 years ago, a $1,000 price tag for a single vial is an outrage. You know it, and I know it. So get beyond the argument that we're all a bunch of socialists because we want to help people. We're doing what the folks sent us here to do. We can't do it on every drug. We need the technology. The gentleman from Arizona is right on target. It will save lives. If we can't do that, what the heck are we doing here?
The gentleman's time has expired.
I yield. Thank you.
The gentleman is reminded to direct his remarks to the chair.